Welcome to Greene County in East Tennessee. It's beautiful countryside that many people who live here have called home for generations. It's a bit of a forgotten corner of our nation these days. Its most famous local celebrity happens to be an impeached president. Not that one. He wasn't technically impeached. Clearly not from around here. Right. That one. Andrew Johnson. Anyway, it also has a rich history of family farms, rural self-sufficiency, and friendly cats. So, what more is there to know? Hi, I'm Jonathan David Martin, and welcome to Tangible Hope Project. This is a vlogumentary series that crosses the United States in search of stories about positive change. It's a journey that will take us to talk with innovative nonprofits, community activists, that guy in the mall who drives the train around, to listen to their stories and find out what we can all learn about how to make our own communities better places to live. And today, I want to take you to a part of the country that most people, well, certainly myself, know very little about. It's not a part of the country that gets in the national news very often, or gets a lot of visitors from other parts of the country. I've come here to meet with Sally Causey, Brenda Sherman, and Debbie Strickland of Rural Resources, a nonprofit farm and education center located here in the sprawling metropolis of Greeneville, Tennessee. Population 15,000. And their focus is food. How to teach their community to grow it, cook it, and even to sell it. Everything from teaching small kids how to milk a cow.
Their little hands are really honestly sized perfectly to milk a cow.
To teaching older adults how to turn grape juice into grape jelly.
You can only drink so much grape juice.
And the grape jelly will last longer.
You might be thinking that this is the last place that you would find answers to some of the biggest problems in our society. But I've got a hunch that there's something happening on this small farm that can teach us all a lot about how to take what you already have and use it to improve the lives of everyone around you.
I would say that this is a place where there's certainly a lot of wealth left over from the days of tobacco and that kind of thing. Also, the vast majority of people are very low income.
Since I've always lived here, I was a sharecropper. There were 6 children, and we tended probably 5 different farms, and that was our living.
There's a lot of just basic survival going on because we have like all of this amazing land that's productive and all of these amazing natural resources, and yet there are people that are hungry here at the same time. So the organization really started, I was telling you a little bit earlier about like our incredible statistics for loss of farmland. We're just really feeling this very rapid shift in how things were in Greene County. And we also saw an opportunity, could we help people refocus on food? Could we help people refocus on being self-sufficient and taking care of themselves? Those bits of threads of culture and ideals were there. How do we pick back up on those and really lift them up? And so how do we connect those dots so that people can take control of their lives, raise their own food, or buy food from their neighbors and not be hungry?
Those are really great questions. How do you connect the dots so that you can put food on everyone's table in a community? And how can learning about something as low-tech and old-fashioned as planting a garden or raising some chickens lift people out of a cycle of poverty and lack of social mobility that goes back generations? Now, granted, I can't keep a houseplant alive, so it's hard for me to envision horticultural success on any level. But seriously, how is one little farm going to feed everyone in a community? And what would that even look like? I mean, when I think of connecting the dots, I think of solving mysteries, finding clues, looking at all the evidence on one of those evidence boards, seeing how all the pieces tie together, and wait, I've got an idea. All right, I've got my own high-tech evidence board, amateur sleuth outfit, and mandatory pipe. So, let's see if we can connect the dots.
We've done lots of lots of food-related connections, especially in public housing and Section 8 neighborhoods, as well as some other low-income neighborhoods. So helping people that have a very minimum amount of space grow their own food. So we help folks start container gardens. In public housing, sometimes people have like a little, like maybe 2 or 3 foot by 4 or 5 foot area right in front of their unit. And so to take it to another level, we've been working with a group of mostly ladies, but a couple of men have gotten in on the act this year to do some preservation, some food preservation. So they take some of the excess from their container gardens, and they have been canning everything. So they've done batches of tomatoes and peaches, and
They just made salsa this week.
they made salsa. They've pickled cucumbers. I mean, you name it. So they've just been really, having fun, taking pride. And the best story was last year, after doing tons and tons of canning, the ladies in this Section 8 housing complex decided that they wanted to provide Thanksgiving dinner for us. And so they took, jars of things that they had canned and saved, and then they, used their food stamps and, just other, produce distribution resources, and they just put out this lavish, incredible spread. And we felt almost guilty, because of, the trouble that they went to and the excess resources that they spent. But this was just, they were entertaining. They were putting on a party. They invited the mayor. They invited the police chief. They said, a lot of times, the only time, officials like that come to their neighborhood is when there's been trouble, and they wanted to bring them to the neighborhood for, a really good reason. I mean, it was impressive. 10 different desserts.
All right, first clues. We have older adults connected to excess food, gardens, canning, and Thanksgiving.
One of our bedrock things is we're all about hands-on education. It's not, kids go to school and do all that stuff. Well, this is a time to come and have fun and to really put things into action.
It makes that book knowledge
It makes
real.
that book knowledge real.
Something I've noticed that makes such a difference is when the younger kids come and get to milk a cow, and they get to actually feel, what it feels like to see it coming out and going into a bucket, and then to learn that, this is where it all comes from. This is where it all begins. And they didn't know that. They just thought it came from Ingles. It came from the store.
Now we've got young children, farming, education. What else?
In 2008, we received a Heifer International grant that allowed us to really develop our teen program to work with the at-risk teens for low income. And we teach the teens how to not only grow the food here on the farm, but they learn how to work the livestock, learning where their meat comes from, learning every aspect about farming.
The youth turn into teens. Farming, education, gardens again. The plot thickens.
Then they go on into the second year, where now they're going to work with trained chefs and do culinary arts programming. So they're going to learn how to cook all this stuff that they've been growing. We're catering meals out in the public, and some of that is giving back. So we go every summer and we do our soup kitchen, and the teens cater a full meal. This past summer, we did 235 meals at our soup kitchen. And in Thanksgiving, yes, we go and prepare an entire Thanksgiving dinner for our senior citizens that live in the low-income housing. And they usually serve about 150 meals.
This year they raised the turkeys.
And this year we raised the turkeys, and they actually processed the turkeys out themselves. I didn't lose anybody. When the first head come off, they were all still there. They helped through the whole process. I was very impressed.
Then we have cooking for the community from their home gardens that they serve to older adults at Thanksgiving. I think I'm saying it better.
Going into the third year, they start learning about business practices. So they put together a business plan. They learn about all the different parts of a business component plan, put together a food-related business that they intend to run. And they will do a lot of leadership and teamwork building obstacles during this. And then the fourth year, they actually enact that business plan. So now, with our new facility, we're going to start a social enterprise with our teens. So basically, every year they're going to revisit that, learn about the business plan, revisit the one that they have, make adaptations and changes based on surveys and customer comments and how we can improve upon the product that we're making. improvise it the next year that they step into it and run that business and earn a profit off of that.
We add entrepreneurship and, wait, I think I got it. Let me see if I can tie all this together. So, we've got older adults and their gardens, and then they can that, and then it's made up of kids. You know what? Maybe there is a better way to illustrate this.
I'm Brittany, Lashae Dabs, and I'm from Greeneville, Tennessee.
So Brittany was one of our teens.
I lived in the city, not really like the country. So there's not many people that live in Greeneville, and Greeneville is like really small. Everybody usually knows everybody. People are friendly sometimes.
So she got really excited about growing vegetables, and she and her friend Isabel decided that they would start a little business growing extra produce in our high tunnel and selling it online.
We had a Facebook page too called the Hoop House Girls. That's how the Hoop House Girls came along, was Facebook. Potatoes, beets, carrots. The main thing that I remember is kale. And we grew peppers too, because I tasted one and then my mouth was on fire and I had to go get some water.
I don't really know how the program is affecting someone until after they've left or a few years being in the program.
Miss Debbie and Miss Sally are awesome. It basically taught me how to get back to your community and how to have my own business. It takes hard work to own your own business, like really hard work.
Because of your program, I am now growing gardens at home with my kids, and we're eating fresh. We are accessing local food markets. We know how to care for our family, and they wouldn't have known that had it not been for the training in the program.
Green County may not be big, but sometimes we do big stuff, and then that's big. It might not be big for people that are in big cities, but it's big to us.
What I would love to see to add to that is I would love to see young people that we've trained or that have been inspired by kids that we've trained really start thinking about entrepreneurial activities that they can get involved with and picking up on the business skills that they're learning and the pizza business that they've taken on. To think about other businesses that they might start and create and run, based on the agricultural skills and knowledge that they've gained, so that we can really have a thriving local food economy, which I think is a complete fit with our culture and our ideals here. It's just a matter of putting the pieces together and connecting the dots.
So, here we have it. The web of connections that Sally was talking about creating. And all of that comes out of this one little farm. Mystery solved. Okay, I know that was an overly complicated way of describing how Rural Resources connects with everyone in their community. But honestly, I'm struggling to find the words to describe how a tiny little organization like Rural Resources has such a huge impact. So instead, I'm gonna let Debbie Strickland have the last word. And I'm gonna share with you something that she wrote to me to express how these little organizations do what they do. Most people overlook what they're doing if it is not changing thousands at one time. The work they're doing is planting a seed that turns into a beautiful plant, putting on fruit, and shares their new seeds to be planted by someone else and shared when they fruit. That tiny seed that was planted in one mind has the opportunity to impact thousands over their lifetime. They just needed someone to believe in them and give them the opportunity to believe in themselves. Yeah, I definitely could not have said it better. Thank you, Debbie. And thank you, Rural Resources. Before I go, I just want to say that if you're interested in finding out or supporting any of the nonprofits that are featured on the series, you can find out more about them on our website, tangiblehopeproject.org, or in the show notes below. And that's all for today. But stick with me because I'm on my way to Nashville next. I'm going to have a jam-packed day with a ton of conversations with local change makers, hopefully get some hot chicken. So, I'll see you there.